Akuntanyo ko. Hey, boga one. Na ay, start for bag kuntabia ma. And what the shop to mu?
Me di sikani nyina egu Lolly Cash account no so.
Oh, you do it.
Me be spread mu mamu zuro. Me be anya fe na me ha me $100 bebre egu me bag mu. Na yakobisa me sesika me de koye den. Ma load ni nyina egu me Lolly Cash account ni mu.
That's right.
Enti se me ba be di dwuma bia wo hanom a me tua free mu straight.
Hey, baby a Lolly Cash app nedru no.
They just say what dollars no egu wallet mu. Enso otwa de wa Ghana hanom a. Ense se Mercedes.
Sa pepepe. Ti se me kwa brochira, me sika ni nyina no me load gu me Lolly Cash account no so. Abrochira baby a me wo bia no. Ade bia me pe bia me timi to. Na app no a convert sika no. Akọ country ni sika no so. Na me de di me dwuma.
Inti America, Canada, and Europe countries na Lolly Cash app no so no. Sa
app na ngasa be convert akọ say American dollar, say Canadian dollar, say India for sika ebia app no convert mami. Enti transaction simple kra.
Lolly Cash app no guy pa. Account na sika no etemu sa no entetew.
Debi Lolly Cash account dey. Ye ntew say dey ebi no ye no. Ulo dia twumu a bibia ni mu no ne ti bibi kakra. Mi be wie no ma send bia ba momu. Na me dia kontan so dia akọ na account mu ama no.
Thank you.
Account hold my inking ko. Enti obia and download the Lolly Cash app no e wo Google ana Apple Store. Number start and send sika e mama busua for mo na fonom e wa mono ne ba bia Lolly Cash
24/7 send sika. Abna good news we abo.
Enu nti wunye ntu kwan na na.
She enu kra na ebe ma kwantu no aye simple kra.
Sa
Ani wonim na me hwehwe app bia ebetumi amama send you sika straight into wallet. Abra even wo momo wallet no krampo enya adwuma.
Okay.
Na sounds ye fast. Na eye available e we nkro bi te se Canada, India, UK and Ghana hampo. Wonim se de be ya metumi asend you sika semtu kwan na.
Na me ameni account for bank bi eye. Me momo no so nya adwuma o.
Hwe sister, dia konta e pa kire nyina ne say with Lolly Cash app no se wo momo ana wo bank account se wo ni bie emu bie ampo no wo betumi asend sika asa receive sika from Ghana ha to amonone simple.
Lolly Cash
Ane Lolly Cash is secure and convenient. Ewa QR code it wotumi use e de send sika abra ehu hia say afna be ka will be phone numbers any bank account number bia wotumi so e send sika from Lolly Cash account e de call bank account bia mu e wo bia safna be bia.
Akonta udi fuda se pa. One man say na simple kra me.
Master dia de no.
Ampa
Enti obia and download the Lolly Cash app no e wo Google ana Apple Store. Number start and send sika e mama busua for mo na fonom e wa mono ne ba bia.
na mo spell mami
LOLLICASH.
Lolly Cash
24/7 send sika.
Akuntanyo ko. Hey, boga one. Na ay, start for bag kuntabia ma. And what the shop to mu?
Me di sikani nyina egu Lolly Cash account no so.
Oh, you do it.
Me be spread mu mamu zuro. Me be anya fe na me ha me $100 bebre egu me bag mu. Na yakobisa me sesika me de koye den. Ma load ni nyina egu me Lolly Cash account ni mu.
That's right.
Enti se me ba be di dwuma bia wo hanom a me tua free mu straight.
Hey, baby a Lolly Cash app nedru no.
They just say what dollars no egu wallet mu. Enso otwa de wa Ghana hanom a. Ense se Mercedes.
Sa pepepe. Ti se me kwa brochira, me sika ni nyina no me load gu me Lolly Cash account no so. Abrochira baby a me wo bia no. Ade bia me pe bia me timi to. Na app no a convert sika no akọ country ni sika no so. Na me de di me dwuma.
Inti America, Canada, and Europe countries na Lolly Cash app no so no. Sa
app na ngasa be convert akọ say American dollar, say Canadian dollar, say India for sika ebia app no convert mami. Enti transaction simple kra.
Lolly Cash app no guy pa. Account na sika no etemu sa no entetew.
Debi Lolly Cash account dey. Ye ntew say dey ebi no ye no. Ulo dia twumu a bibia ni mu no ne ti bibi kakra. Mi be wie no ma send bia ba momu. Na me dia kontan so dia akọ na account mu ama no.
Thank you.
Account hold my inking ko. Enti obia and download the Lolly Cash app no e wo Google ana Apple Store. Number start and send sika e mama busua for mo na fonom e wa mono ne ba bia Lolly Cash
24/7 send sika.
All right. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and abusuafoɔ yɛkyia obiara baabi bibiara obiara no yɛde nkyia kɛseɛ ɛma nipa no gye di sɛ nyame adom obiara ɛho yɛ ɛnnɛ yi ana yɛbɛyɛ abɛdi nkɔmmɔ kakra ɛyɛ ana mpɛn bebree no ɛho hia sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛdi yɛn ho nkɔmmɔ yɛsua biribi kakra ɛde ba ɛyɛ Lollycash program a yɛfrɛ no your knowledge, your power and your success. Na ɛnɛ no yɛbɛbɔ mmɔden ayɛ discussion kakra ɛde afa nature ho ɛyɛ abɔdeɛ ho. Yɛbɛsan so ɛde afa yɛn daadaa setena mu nneɛma especially ɛfa religion ɛne yɛn gyidie ne nneɛma bebree ho. Ɛna mfasoɔ a ɛyɛ den saa religion no ɛne yɛn nature de ama yɛn ɛne sɛnea yɛsan so bɛfa so abɔ yɛn abrabɔ no benefit bɛn ɛna yɛbɛsan so ɛyɛ den ɛnya afiri mu. It is very important. Ɛho bɛhia sɛ as human beings no yɛbɛhu sɛnea abɔdeɛ nneɛma ɛsi ne ho mfasoɔ a ɛbɛtumi ayɛ den ɛde ama me ne wo. Ɛna yɛn nso yɛ gyidie a yɛwɔ mu, being it a Christian, being it Islamic, being it Buddhist, being it traditional believer no benefit bɛn na wobɛtumi anya afiri. Na yɛbɛhyɛ ɛyɛ video baako bi na sɛ yɛbɛhyɛ screen video bi na yɛn nyinaa hwɛ ewie a na yɛaba abɛhyɛ yɛn nkɔmmɔdie no ase. Nti no in just a few minutes no yɛn nyinaa yɛbɛhwɛ video wei. All right, say yɛmu bebree yɛho video wei pɛn. Nti no ɛnyɛ ade bi a ɛyɛ foforɔ ɛwɔ yɛn mu. But I would like us to come back to this video and then most importantly, I would like us to focus on something about nature. Adeɛ ɛwɔ sɛ nipa biara no anaasɛ ɔte aseɛ ne sɛ nature ama otumi a nyankopon ewo wu. But and I'm saying conversation no lolly cash for and abo ye chidom intino. Ebesan so abo lolly cash. Omo advertisement kakra be 1 minute na ya ba be shan komodie na se. But ade a mede jawo a ansa be call lolly cash for break no say wo no nyankopon wo mu nti dwen ho kakra na ewia yendi nkomo.
Akuntanio ko. Hey, boga one. Na start for bag kuntabiama. And what the shop to mu?
Me di sika ni nyina egu lolly cash account no so.
Oh, you do it.
Me be spread mu mamusro. Me be anya afa na me ha me $100 bebre egu me bag mu na yakobisa me sika me de koye den ma load ni nyina egu me lolly cash account ni mu.
That's right.
Enti se me ba be di dwuma bia wo hanom a me tua free mu straight.
Hey, baby, a lolly cash app nedru no.
They say wo dollars no egu wallet mu. Enso wo twade wa Ghana hanom a ense se cedis.
Sa pepepe. Si se me kwa brochira me sika ni nyina no me load gu me lolly cash account no so. Abrochira baby a me wo bia no. Ade bia me pe bia me timi to. Na app no a convert sika no akọ country ni sika no so na me de adu me dwuma.
Inti America, Canada, and Europe countries na lolly cash app no was no. Sa
app na ngasa be convert akọ say American dollar, say Canadian dollar, say India for sika e bia app no convert mami. Enti transaction is simple kra.
Lolly cash app no guy pa. Account na sika no time sa no entetew.
Debi lolly cash account there. Ye ntew say de ebi no mo ye no. Ulo di atumu a bibia ni mu no ne ati bibi kakra. Mi be wie no ma sendi bia ba mumu. Na me dia kontanso dia akọ na account mu ama no.
thank you.
Account hold my ink ko ho. Eti obia and download the Lolly Cash app no e wo Google ana Apple Store. Number start and send sika and mama busha for no na for no e wa mono ne bia Lolly Cash
24/7 send sika.
All right, Lolly Cash say 24/7 send sika. Obi biara wo send sika e wo Chrome ha domestically no. Say bia pesa wo discamo nyon could be wo Chrome ha odi tu obi ka odi any form of transaction no. Lolly Cash to me facilitated that type of transaction no. That means domestically within the US no, you can use the Lolly Cash wallet. And on top of that, no, so no person will send this Kofi, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Senegal, different places. No person will send the Edeko, India. Lolly Cash application, no, gives you that capability for you to be able to perform this transaction. Indeed, Lolly Cash, the wallet platform is backed fully by artificial intelligence, and my transactions are easier. And on top of that, exchange rate in the because there is no money transfer app. More exchange rate, you know, the same or more than Lolly Cash. The phone so no, or the download the Lolly Cash app now. Fire comparison. Now, back to the na yedi hunkomo initially. Nature has a way of handling humanity. Now, mementias ya a woman, and you can share your comments and your thoughts. Please feel free to share the page, you know. Now, we're being so into a conversation. This will be a series of conversations, and then we are going to have additional conversations in as we progress. But then, at the back, I'm making what you say. Nature and a yankopon in a body, you know. And I Sunday, you know, ye di yankopon nkomo kakra. And I twin ya adwens wasi bibi so kakra. Yankopon wo mu. There is God in you. Na mebo modin a breaking it down enye ade bia ye tu America ho. Me breaking it down ama yati niema bi ase kakra. And feel free to share your thoughts and comments and so. Say see, I am funny say my pen way kita me ya minimum edi hu komwe. Am funny say me na maye ana wo a wo hwe me no wo na waye pen way. Now for pen way to be able to write, you know, was say the ink egu pen we mu. Pacho utie pa. If I made this pen, and for this pen to function properly, to be able to write, na say I was say offer ink egum ba ink no free wumu. Wumu ena ink no efree. I beba begu pen we mu. Ama pen we atumi atwro. Na first question na ebeba ye trimu no say wo pen we mu ana uni pen we mu. Think about it again. Oh yep, what na why pen we and me no kasa me and my pen we. And for pen way to be able to write no. Say bit me atwro mo bia hu say oh dia wo twro no eni ni no. E was say wo fa ink and I be a free wumu edigu pen we mu. And when you do that, then you can be able to use this pen for its full purpose. Enti me bisa say and so wo she pen we mu ana say wo ni pen we mu. Basic understanding be say obviously no wo pen we mu because without you no pen we no e tonturakwa. It's an empty vessel, right? Until you adding the ink into it, no, and the be who say, oh, pen we cry a try then blue and a try black. Sana nipa ya kwa na esi wono and sana humanity no ye niema esiti. Now, to give you a little bit context, say, and I'm say, oh, pen we analogy na, and I'm say, who are we a pen we no? You don't want to go around chasing this pen, baby, your benambia nintino. The odibegu pen we mono, you are trying to make sure that there's a bond and connection between contain and only ink. Okay, so what that means is this particular pen, you don't have time because you are making millions of this pen. And then na ba kumpeno ubechin aiden. I hear back on that I feel if there are 1 million of it, and you have now baby chin, I hear yourself the other 990 something that it's in wood the one baby shame so that everywhere this pen is, you will be represented over there. That is how nature works with humanity. Yankupon yansamuno obo mene wono, right? Onya hu anyway, that much because there are going to be multiple of you on this planet. You know? He instilled his power in you. Etinyameno by nature no otiumu. Okay, so nature has a connection with you, which is Nyankopon wo connection with you because why in such a way say little piece of him no and whichever his nature is, no, eti umu so that each and every time be a person no kasano. What to mean wakasa? All right, it's no. Instead of God sitting somewhere and trying to think, so mami empty vessel we na into me nam no na dabia min chimpen no. He made it in such a way so on a vessel no benam. So the question becomes, how does Nyankopon vessel no? Enam. Let me ask you this thing. Say electricity no, right? Sa electricity no the main source honomo. Ukodru sa the main source honoma voltage free hoba. And yet the same voltage ne beden ebeba ofie. And I can say power a free sa electricity no mu. The main source, baby, a plant no one airban. And yet that same energy capacity no neba fee. You know why? Almost stepping it down. Almost bringing it down to empempens will be a bit to me amana containing and on it you can say materials are a woe fee electronics a woe fee no a bit me are compatible in such a way say Omo betumi sustain enkonkwashi ofie anase enkonkose wo niema sa na nyame niema tie eti Nyankopon no bo wo no And I say, or did to me be share nipa mu say, now I'm leaving creation to humanity. No, when ya was aqua, right? Osanso tena wonchen. Otena umu. Eti opone ne ho niema kakra. What I mean by opone ne ho niema is a part of him decided say, and as making in such a way say, or the bed you. So anywhere you are, he can communicate with you. But how powerful Nyankopon tie no? So or the sad to me no, ebe show mu director. It's going to be difficult for you to operate. And therefore, he has to step down to come to low level, which is the container, for him to be able to speak to you and communicate with you. It's in most of the time, you feel saying, Nyame wo baby far away. Okay? Yankopon ni baby far away. He is just in you as a human. Because I don't believe, say, Obi ebe shishe niema. Na wode ne ho ahye saa niema ne mu na wagya saa niema ne se onko saa dabi. Enti no na yenuanom a eya Christopher no. The same Bible na yegidi no, say in somewhere in Jeremiah no. I say before say oye blood clot and amogya to ada umame yam no. Na minimum. Eya bebu. Right? That means a particle of him is with you each and every time from the day or the first minute. You can say the whole process of you coming to this earth, that spirit lives in you. God has to come to nipa level. The analogy of say electricity free, the main source of the plant. Electricity free, the main source of the plant, air ban, right? That power free one, it cannot be contained in humanity. And I said to me, it cannot be contained in your house. And therefore, they step it down so that it will be compatible with the electronics in your house. Sana Nyankopon to meet here. Ain't you know, and sorry, them na Nyankopon here. Nyankopon to umu. Now, Obi babies I say, where does he sit? The Spirit of God resides in your mind. Why dream na nyametina? So that all your movement and your reactions and your actions, atumi aboa amanani wadi nkomo. Enti no kane no na if you say nyame wo baby long, nyame wo baby far and all those things. Nyame wo ni baby too far away from us. Now, the question becomes, how does he communicate with us? Yenyati as yese owo yemu no a oni ye nenam no. Ekwan ben so na ofa so eni ye din komo. These are some of the basic things as humans. Say eti as ye for nature ho a. Ema ya brabo ne ya sitina mu niema no eye very very easy. In the sense say niema bi wo wa yen worry yourself that much. Now, as to how Yankopon fa so ni ye din komo. Mimi ti asiye mu no. And per what I know. No. And an yema me share no, and ya de be a marking can of book mo. Me am mu and my own communication and what do you call it? Interaction with nature helps me understand some of these things. Okay. So God communicates with us in 3 ways. The edikan say Oma wo kasa kire wa adwen because of say oti wa adwen mu oti wo mu through your mind no. It starts from the brain. Nti yan be di adanse ye wo a wo hwe me wa obe utie me God, you will be there one time and I say bibi kasa kire bibi kan bibi a kire ebia wa ye wa adwen say opese utu anamombe ebia wa ye wa adwen say opese ukọ baby opese oye bibi na I say bibi kasa kire. Okay. Bibi na ye kasa kire wo no. Enye obi ase Nyankopon na oti wo mu no. Ni tumi na opone kakra de suwe wo mu no. Eba to the humanity level send me sikan first no. Ema hu say he is moving along with you each and every time. ɛno ɛna ɛyɛ a ɔno di saa nkɔmmɔ no nti wobɛhu sɛ ade bi woyɛ a na biribi ka kyerɛ wo sɛ ade wei deɛ woyɛ a ɛmfa wo anaasɛ na biribi ka kyerɛ wo sɛ ade wei deɛ woyɛ a it will be good. I think sɛ keep on pushing, keep on trying to pursue it. It's going to be fine. That conversation na ɛba na ayɛ sɛ obi gyina w'akyi ne wodi nkɔmmɔ no, that type of conversation no ɛyɛ Nyankopɔn tumi na ɔde adua ɔmo no na ɔne wodi nkɔmmɔ. So sɛ yɛwɔ kwan sɛ ne saa tumi bi no ne yɛdi nkɔmmɔ deɛ a, that means we can also talk to that tumi no in one way or the other. Na ɛno no yɛ another segment a yɛbɛduru hɔ. Okay, and that's one. He talks to us through our thinking. Send ye see dream efa niyama hono. Sana me susu se and my dream no minim se Yakupon ye dinkomo. Because number one, otiumu, as we said it previously. And I'm say onunu tiumu nintino. He has a way of communicating with you. Internet first no, and the beginning me can say. Sɛ wo am woyɛ car na sɛ wo di engine to car ni mu a na sɛ engine no free wo mu ɛna wo na woyɛ engine no na wakɔ car ni mu a, that means you live in the car. What do you say? So let's take things on a very face value, on a basic way. Say wo wayɛ car ebia Tesla na yɛmfa ne sɛ Tesla na ɛyɛ no Elon Musk ɛde ne ho akwa bi ahyem for Tesla no to work and to drive. That means Elon Musk in one way or the other no our Tesla move. That's why it's moving. It's ye the nature more. Say Yakupon na boy no humigu ye mu sene ye gidi ne dia. Then he lives in you. Until you have a way of communicating with him in one way or the other. Na akwan afaso ni no di nkomo no na ye di ho nkomo sisia. And first and foremost, he speaks with your intuition. Why dream no how you think, how you reason. Hana bibi can be actually. Hana I say bibi twa adwuma si bibi so. That is one. Another way I know di nkomo. And so ekwan a ofaso esom da he. Ebi mo de no ye da he, ebi mo de no ye a vision. They can see things without sleeping. They can see things. Ebi mo so no or da na some da and things like that. So odika kachira wo tirim. Na say you don't heed to it, and I say one to one among and I say one tia. Then the next thing it does is it brings it in a form of vision for you to see. And to be hono, ebi obeda some die. Ade na na ba utirim na na ka wo dwen hono. Saa de no wo hunu wadayem. Saa de no I say bibia betwa wani so wo hu. It's another way of bringing your attention to the same thing of God communicating with you. So that's the second level of communication. First, Oma Ojen na say you don't push it up. Then, or you don't execute it up. Now Oma Wahun Wadayim. So you see it in the form of a vision or a dream or anything. So one yet dream no so no ebetwam na one to one among and I say you just don't act on it. Now I'm all facing in reality. It no me my example. I say oh driver and I say oh tikam na bibi can kyerɛ say baby akwa akofai so o speed pa anhwa obetumi dia pem. One you did not hit to it. Now speed na woko. Into woko na and I'm say woko speed e bia wa bra woko speed no. Na I say na fa kakra. Na I say wo da woni ba ho so no e bia in that process no I say oh some da no woni aba ho so. Now you are in the other lane. You shift to the other lane and all those things. Na atwe wa adwen si bibi so. That's another sign of warning. Now, then the last piece is you experiencing what has been. Adina wabon ho koko, waman warning no. I want to one among. Then you do what? You experience it in reality. So the reality part no, is what you see physically. And to say, yeah, idea be na kai was a wood to one. Say, ye be na kai was a woye. Now, about trim was some who a business idea be a school be na also to one more. About him say, oh, I do idea was semi quote me to me a pursue some education about it, and I met to me learn me to me soon baby if home, me to me acquire some knowledge if home. Now, unfortunately, no 1 year mumu bia was answer who know that I want to whom and I'm 1 year here. Then what will happen? And say, you will realize, say, Uncle Bia, only no shasi ako atusana mono, or no bequeja. Obequeja as in say, Obehuno, no, na koni school, the navi. Ebia no, Juma no, if you are no in your beja. And I say, at the papa nanka, oh, you know, na I then want to make run to 1 among. And I say, I did not. Or mama warn it were multiple times now. At one stop, you know, that particular thing, you know, then it comes to reality. So, and I'm saying nature do not want you to be in a problem. It makes it in a way, in such a way, say, it's easy for you to be able to speak back and communicate back to nature. It's, you know, as humans, you know, we have all the opportunity, all the good things, the great things, to be able to communicate with nature, because nature lives in you. Now, so if nature lives in you, dear, and then we are not pushing, we are not being able to utilize that nature, no, in our own benefit. Other than nature, no, yen to me and yet and use nature no to our benefit in such a way, a bit me a menewo yedi. Because if nature is everywhere and then nature has the capability of speaking to you, why are we not taking advantage of it? We are not taking advantage of nature because yemubino religious beliefs any babya yedi yehwa no. It has limited our understanding about how nature works. Ade yen pay attention to nene say. Bibi bia ye living thing bia no. Tumi wo. Nti nnua tumi wo nnuam. Mo a mo nenam asase so tumi wo mu. You can say leaves kra ye plucky ade ye nro ye de ye niema bebre no. Tumi wo. Any human being kwana tumi wo emu. Tumi wo anything that can grow and reproduce. And therefore, they are all part of nature creation. It is we are part of the nature creation. Not nature lives in us. Then we should make use of the nature that we have. But because of our religious beliefs, because of how we believe in the other form of nature rather than the actual humanity, that is the problem of why some of us, being it a career, being it a knowledge, being it a power, being it anything, into me. Okay? So think about it from this angle. Say, Adena, in Suya, Yemfa Yukrum Ghana, example. Adena in Suya, Chucha and Weshia or Ghana, Bebre, no. You see, your bosom. Just think about it. Say, Nyankupon ne bones you. Right? This is not rocket science. This is not any new, you can say, innovation. This is nothing. This is just you and I thinking from a layman's perspective. Say, Nyankupon a obo mene wo na wujidi no. Sa Nyankupon no. Se sa Nyankupon no ne bone nua any insuo dia. Ade na wujidi se enua esisi ufie. And I say, Monsieur, that way no, bosom. That's one question that you should ask yourself. Now, if sa inuya and I say, sa Monsieur no, bosom dia, okay? Say your bosom dia, then why are you using it? Because you know ebia na wonom. All right? You know ebia na odi dware. You know from the Christian's point of view no so no ebia na yede ebo nipa su baptism. You know ebia na odi ye wo fie nuane na wanom bi na odi bi adware. Ena nature so ama yehu ana scientists for kro mo hwehwe mu ama yehu se unipa dua na wo ho no unipa kwa ni nyina no is about 70% fluid. That means there's a mixture of insuo ewo nipa duam that takes more than half of who you are. Inti no adena muye mienu ana muye miensa na modoso mu nyina mo papa baako na wo hu the other anuafo no say omunu mom ye boso. All right, because of what we have been accustomed to believe and understand. And only the reason why Emma Yemu Bebre no we find ourselves in problem. And only the reason why either Christianity or Islam or religion per se no adi yemu binya. Think about it. Adru a wo yare a wo nom no. Okay? Adru a wo yare a wo nom as yakade say ebia ibuprofen or any form of adru bi a wo nom bia no. Sadro no yenye free. In Rona wo nom no, where do you get it from? Okay, scientists ne pharmaceutical companies and all this get the mixture ni nyina edi free. The other nature which is in Nuano no, and all these things comes together. Ne dia ye drama one. Be ye drama no ma onum dia ugidi say papa. But in suyo na da hono ne dia eye bosom. Nuane si we chire hono dia eye bosom, and therefore what twa ni nyina dia kwa kwashi bidi aton. Okay, so the failure of us as humans, especially our bibi mamu, especially in Ghana, is the inadequacy of us to utilize nature and be friendly with the other natural systems. Yankupon abo. What's basi? So to climb back America, UK, Europe, advanced countries now. Insuo omugbo humban. Enua omugbo humban. Ofa even downtown almost see nia and our planting nia ewo. America per se say ukutwe dua baako you have to plant I think about 10 of it to replace it. By ye koye ye kuro mu Ghana dia ye twa nua ni nyina dia hyebidie. Sanka ye twa nua no kura na ye dwen ho se ye twa nua no for some good reasons. Ye twa ye sanso de hyebidie. So the reason why we are not progressing is not about the quantity of prayers I able. It's about we not even recognizing the fact that from day one as humanity, group of different caliber of entities are the same Yankopona Ujinidino. Aboye nyina. Amaye nyina the same opportunities but different responsibilities. Say ye mama ye bibi. Say yen tua na mumbi. Say yen na yen fellowship. Yen kambum. Yen collaborate. To be able to live well at anywhere he has planted us. But yenum bino, especially ye by a kroma. Yama ye religious belief, ababe hinta ye progress in life. And because of say ababe hinta progress in life in Suntino. Ama we are not recognizing the other natures na omoben. Intina me no shas ya me can be bichira o say. Yen free one source mo neba. Okay? And then every living creature be anonso no. Ewo to me wonimu. Nua ye hu omo se omusisi wo yi. Omo nye nua jesse nua keke. To me wo omumu. Intina na so ko plucking the leaves bia etumi boaw. Leaves no be okra o plucking now o wesa. I know some leaves back home in Makura say we am fie ho a sika ntwa obi sesi a na se ye de to so a sa leaves no ebema moja ni nyina atwa, and then within couple of days it will start helping heal that particular cut now nipa ni nyae. Enuanum bi wo ho a se owi na omene ni nsuo no kurampo na se ba ne se bibia si a na omode kwa akon ntokwa niema etuo tutuo ne sa niema no enuanu bi kura tumi bo ho ban from the gunshot and as a bibisa no nature ama ye hu say ye ne ye nuanom other creatures no ye nuafo. But look at the beautiful part of it. Nature boy ye nyina wie no ana Yakopon boy ye nyina wie no homegu ye nyina mu no wie no o sanso kire collaboration, right? No na enua a matwa ho ahia no nyina no e na eboa ma otumi nya dan a process of oxygen ye a generate a good oxygen for you to inhale. Now also no what to me aboa dua no so no in their what do you call it, processing process, in their fruit processing and all those things. Now other na uni dua another nature air collaborate nanso no wumom no uwia na akwa akotwa saa de na ema wo nkwa no eboa wa ma otumi a live long no uwia na akwa akotwa e de akwashi bidie. Okay, now I say wusuo nyina esuo ya asofofo numbi enam a ye ka se eya bosum ni nyina no obi sofo bi tumi bie na no e ka se esuo densu esuo pra ana esuo ta no omo ya bosom nanso no okwa akobo ni pasua ana okwa akobo ni church member bi asua na okwa akosa that same esuo no na say what the bonus. Just think about it. We know. Let's let go a little bit. Let's lower a little bit of religious belief. Na yemfa Nyankopon no way etirimu no, because before so beba asase so no, unim nyame dada. Enti na ye nananom ka asem bi say obi nchira bofre nyame. That doesn't mean it's not just any kasabi keke. It tells you say and the same Bible now did say uye moja tuada na yamu no na nyame enimu. That means Nyankopon aponi ni tumi we ni tumi segment kakra bi e dia ba be show mu as human to operate. And before you arrive on this planet and any planet you find yourself in, not tumi no kan, which is nature is with you. Okay, sometimes we have to apply what is in us to understand what is out there. But unfortunately, yemu bebre no do not even assess your humanity, Enti di obi be sorry abe kambia no, di obi ebe fri obi tirimu ana na adwemu ana ni nyansemu beba abe kambia no, na chese wagye adi. So bisa ho biemu se nsuo na eda ho na wo se anya no. Dua na si wo na wo se ye bosom no, enti wakwa akotwa ato. So what nia ewo dan no ho nyina agu enti oxygen papa ben na obenya breathing in adeba kwa yere free ya ho ne. Nature has given us free things. That is here. Nature realize nkrofo a me sumo omo abasase so yi, they are not having the capability to manufacture some things on their own. Enti mame fa nche won ebi ni mframa ya homen na ade a yani ma ho so ne say if you misuse that ade na ye free na you go and pay a price for it at some place. Enti ni nua na wo twitwa na untumi ma emwa ma unya mframa papa, and therefore you are inhaling bad air no. Obekwa akoda hospital no nya ho yare. Ukoda hospital wa mframa air filtered artificial one e de besi wo so no, you will pay for it because the edema of free no wo hu so hwe. It is sometimes no one muma yemfa ye gidie no mu no entoto niema e wo ye ho na hwe se ye mistake ana se ye mistake because bibi wo ho a e wo unyansam a e wo se wo awtena se na calculate de hwe ensuo da hwe wudi ni nyina ye galamse what sense you ni nyina uko tena nsuo na no na unfortunately and unfortunately no wakɔ ja onan asisi nsuo na no onse wogija onan si nsuo na no wie ye saa ne ma no wie no ɛda mo pipe no enye adwuma no na pipe ema no wokɔsa saa nsuo no bia de bedware ye onse wonya yare what you say saa nsuo no nso no etene kɔ akura bi ase nsuo bi mu ma bi mu kɔsa no me onse wa ma mo diarrhea. So we as humans, we are the ones killing ourselves. We are the ones destroying what nature has given us. But I am pushy blame. Adeba ko eba ewo yen nipa ho na say ye say ye ko akire kakra de aba yen abibi mamu a we like to apportion blame. Yen take responsibility. Enti no bibi bia na de ayem paibo. I'm not saying say my own one pie. But think about it. Sanka ye mpaye kwa na wo sa wo bo ansa what to me sustaining life a. Any akanya kupo abodi oboye no aka be a question mark wo ho. Ba onim say what the niema nyina wa wie niema nyina wie na he is not going to have time to do another form of creation into what the niema hye won sa I equip you as a human for you to operate. So what we have to understand is for bibi kra yen ko even more lower level. First creation on Nyankopon ye no. Ye gidie ni ye Bible ni ye Quran ma yate ase say oboy or the nsa na nwene. Every ofino, have you ever seen anywhere in the Bible and as have you seen anywhere in the Quran and have you seen anywhere biem say Nyankopon abonipa biem atin not ya abonipa biem? No. He left everything into the hands of humanity. Or the beshe wo me ne wonsa. Etino na wo ne wo yere to mishia, wo ne wo girlfriend to mishia, wo ne wo kunu wo ne obi bibia o guy to mishia, no more to me awo nipa. So now you are now producing, you are not having the God in you to manufacture another living nature. But I say, God has bestowed everything we need in our brain. And on top of that, he is sitting in the brain in the beginning of mechanics. Only a dim combo. Bibi wa the bawutrim. Sometimes adibia bawutrim na iso big kasechero. Nyankopon no kasa because God lives in your brain. Bibi awa opesa wo ya no e bawutrim na wo dwen ho. Now let me give you a typical example of how aside say yenuanom ema etumi ewo no, which is God giving us a chance to make our own creation. Mamima another form of creation na Nyankopon ama wutumi to do. The make any Bible mu mitira wonte no I don't have quotation from you. Eye me menhwehwe mu any me communication with nature and I kire me niam bi. Won say wote ho na oba otu kwan no ana wo Ghana no ana wo UK wo baby bia wo bia no. Bibi ba wotiri mu say ene ekwan no ho em say sesi ankrofo omoto nuane pa o ene ma menua emoni anwa bi na awia bia mehwe memfanko si babia building contractors no AC dan no hwese omobeya ombeto. That idea came in mind the same way Nyankopon enya idea to create a bimose necessary no. That is how creation starts. So creation starts in your brain. Okay, enti eba wutiri mu saa no. Then you have assigned responsibility to Nyankopon no to help you make it work. Right? From there, no, you start asking yourself questions. Emo bag kra ebe ahe. No metumi kra enye sika kwa akotoni. Ana menkobosia. Okay. Na se menua kra the distance between me ni ehono mo no. Quantity ahe na menua. Ebia for the first time menua quantity ahe. Minye we ahe. What do I have to do to be able to do that? You start calculating, you start building what you want in this world in your brain. So creation starts in your own brain, your own creation of how you want the world to be for you. Start in your own brain. It's using the analogy of emonu biemono. And I'm saying now you have given your brain a task to do, which God lives in your brain. Now you have make it effort towards it. To be no no akọ market wakọ bisa emobo. Ube no akọ bisa toast bo. Obe akọ bisa we. Woni beba ho so no na wanoa aduane no. Woni beba ho so no wa start business. Initially no about a month ago no you were not having the business. But you have created your own business by using the brain to think about it. Okay? That is one example. Another example. Obi biara o person owo akora bia ba wiase no. If you want to have a child or if you want to give birth to anybody, you think about it first. Sometimes, yes, things happens. Even though things happens, you still have it in brain to keep akorano because you want to have akorano. Because you want to create, you have a reason why you want to have a baby. No? And I say you want to have a child. No? So nature starts in your own brain. Whatever you want to be in this world lives in your own brain. Until we understand this thing, we will continue to pray and pray and pray, and we will not have anything. Okay? This question why ye bibi biya ma obawi? What sidan mano? What toka mano? What manisika? What be a juma mano? Now what culture of ban so take dominion? Na onhwe saa ne mani nyina so. Na sa wo ba no san so eba wo nchen be bisa wo say, "Wa ma na hwe ntinu buana." What will you think? How will you see that particular child of yours? Again, you have given everything to your child. You gave him the mansion, you gave him the house, the business, the cars, everything. What's also crying? You have married for him in addition. And you tell this guy or this son or this daughter of yours that, you know what, procreate yourself and live your own life. As I say, wabo abrabo. Na sasa korano sanso ba on change day in and day out, every day to pray, to ask you, the father or the mother, how do I live this life? Won't you have questions to ask? This is what we are doing. Each and every time we believe our progress is in prayers. We believe, say, the is in prayers only, and therefore we have to pray and pray and pray. But the big question is, have we examined what we have in our mind? We haven't. And then we haven't even gone to that level of thinking about and therefore we continue to make these mistakes each and every time. So as humans, one thing I want to bring to your attention before we go for any commercial break is this. Whatever you want to create, whatever you want to build, the success you are looking for, the job you are looking for, the money you are looking for, the house, the good person, or whatever you are looking for, it's in you. Any baby bia. You have a video be raised I'm a boy beginning. The software no aperture to me, Emani sorry, and all those things. Most of these things are just stage artwork. Obi awu na o sorry ya wo we emu na nipa awu to me we mu atremase intentem. They are all stage work. They are all playing with your brain. So until we realize say Nyankopon na ye ko obi ho akwa hwehwe Nyankopon no lives in us no, we are always going to be looking around and because we think say Nyamene will be so far away. Whatever you are looking for in this world lives in you, lives with you. You want a job. Who are only resume? You want a job, you don't have a resume. You don't have any skill set on the job or understanding on the job that you are looking for. And you are in the church praying for God to give you that job. Just ask yourself, sir. This is not rocket science. This is not something too extraordinary above any human understanding. Once again, you are looking for a job. You are going to church to look for that job by praying, but you don't have any resume. Okay? You don't have any qualification. You have not made any effort towards learning anything. And you go to church Monday to Friday, on Monday to Sunday to pray for God to give you what do you call it? Job. God doesn't work with lazy person. Now say God doesn't work with lazy person. No. Can we say this program is sponsored by Lollycash? And Lollycash helps you move money very easily to international countries and also within the US. You can use Lollycash application for so many things. Even if you have a business, Lollycash AI can integrate with your business to help you to be able to receive payment and send payments. You can use Lollycash in the US here. In Canada, you can use it domestically as well. And then you can use it to send money internationally as well. Okay, so let's listen to Lollycash commercial for just a minute, and then we will be back with our discussion.
Akuntanyo ko. Hey, boga one. Na ay, start off about kuntabia ma. And what the shop to mu?
Me disika ni nyina egu Lollycash account no so.
Oh, you do it.
Me be spread mu mamusro. Me be anya afa na me ha me $100 bebre egu me bag mu. Na yakobisa me sesika me de koye den. Ma load ni nyina egu me Lollycash account ni mu.
That's right.
Enti se me ba be di dwuma bia wo hanom a me tua free mu straight.
Hey, baby, a Lollycash app nedru no.
They just say wo dollars no egu wallet mu. Enso o twade wa Ghana hanom a. Ense se besides.
Sa pepepe. Si se me kwa brochira, me sika ni nyina no me load gu me Lollycash account no so. Abrochira baby a me wo bia no. Ade bia me pe bia me timi to. Na app no a convert sika no. Akọ country ni sika no so. Na me de adu me dwuma.
Inti America, Canada, and Europe countries na Lollycash app no was no. Sa
app na ngasa be convert akọ say American dollar, say Canadian dollar, say India for sika e bia app no convert mami. Enti transaction is simple kra.
Lollycash app no eye guy pa. Account na edisika no etemu sa no entetew.
Debi Lollycash account here. Ye ntew say de ebi no mo ye no. Ulo di atumu a bibia ni mu no ne ati bibi kakra. Mi be wie no ma send bi aba mu. Na me di akontan so di akon account mu ama no.
thank you.
Account hold my ink ko ho. Eti obia and download the Lollycash app no e wo Google ana Apple Store. Number start and send sika and mama busha for no na for no e wa mono ne ba bia Lollycash
24/7 send sika.
All right, so Lollycash 24/7 send sika. Me amedi Juma die hu chiame Dr. Eric Pope. You can just call me Eric. But before the commercial break, we were talking about how we are our own creator and also influencer of things that happens in our life. Okay, so I was talking about God doesn't have time to work with lazy people, and I will explain that, and I will encourage you to continue to share and continue to invite people to also listen to some of this knowledge we are all sharing, because your knowledge, that's why this program, we call it your knowledge, your power, and your success. Okay, if you have some knowledge, it empowers you, and then it helps promote you for you to be able to grow and also for you to be able to be successful. Now, God do not have time for lazy people. Okay, I'm just saying it as it is. Okay, and once again, what I'm sharing with you is not something in a book somewhere that you can find, or it's not something somewhere that people have written. It's a research I've made, is some stuff I've been able to acquire all these years for some time, and this is the time to share with the people. God doesn't have time for lazy people. I did not say poor people, lazy people. Okay, if I said poor people, pardon me for that, but the emphasis is on lazy people. Let's just take the same Bible, the same work that Jesus came to do, and look at it. Jesus need 12 disciples. No one ana oye kwadwini, and one ana onye defo. To the extent say, most of them, or I would say 90-something% of them, they were all wealthy people. Say Jesus as young for numbi eba this current generation, some of them were financial overseers, some financial, like Edebeko ABA Kromugana. They are either the minister for finance or the diplomat, and all this high caliber level of people. Most of them are knowledgeable. So then they had money, they had, and so if Jesus walked with wealthy people or people capable of making good things in life, that tells you, say, Nyankopon wants us to be doing something with our hands and the skill set he has given us in nature. Okay? God doesn't have time for lazy people. Another simple example, like Yajin Maso, and therefore, that's what I'm saying. When people go to church and they hear the word of God, they are not taking the word now every mwabano. No. And going to think about it. And yeah, no, they just go because of suffering almost to me nyankumade. Send here recently, akwabisi wanyani ni pay. Which is so funny for people to even believe him in the first place, to follow him. And that is some of the cause of the problems in Africa, especially in Ghana. Your problem, no. Let me give you a typical example. The same Bible, no matter BBS say, Nyankopon Emma Israel for no aduane ana otomana maomo. God is capable to put all this food. Nyankopon will to me say, anko the salmon aduane no be ma Israel for omumpa no, right? Anko mbeda sorry no, omumo mutri so omumpa no, and as omu bed na omodeda so no, na tifiana ka aduane no deda ho. But the same Bible no matter bibia say, okogya aduane no gu baabi. That means when you are dealing with God, you need to be able to make a move. You need to be able to apply something. You need to have something to make him. I was saying, BB, for God to be able to help you. BB now was a wunyano. And I was said that the idea with Tirimuno. Okay? So you have to work for it. Your Bible scholars in Bekachro say almost all the prophets no more Bible more mature they have to make a move. It's either they have to go and fight, they have to move from one place to the other, or they have to go somewhere and work so hard to be able to be successful. Paul Bible, he was a rich person. Bible name him fan the poor person, with example, with the exception of some examples say Nyankopon hili woman. Yadu amwa significant figures in the Bible. That tells you God doesn't have time to work with a lazy person. The reason is because, again, we said it from the beginning. Wo are we any power hemeno? Wama oba bibia wie. Aye di obehia wie. No catch oba so nko babra bo na sakora no ko. Na the other man no he or she is not even utilizing it. But then was also about babies I say, "Edia krana ode mame. Help me to be able to be successful in life." Now, so what do you be here for him or her to be successful? No, and you just left it in the brain. Or what he has to do is to think and reason. That's a obano say on yes, sir. Edia dena who are with yamino. Obano. Let's even go to another level. When I'm having conversation, I like to give you a real-time example. Say, "Yenina ya brabo, yenina yenim yen opimso, eye asante hene. Yenina edi obuo emano. Me ko kumase na asante hene yenana na neba eba bedi ni birthday nti na okwa akoye neba no be shopping wo more Malcolm hono. When yes will be see you, Kasa me say, Omo my yen won Malcolm when you na pie because eye opem so nana otumfo eye sante hene and the oba be shopping a maneba. So all of us have to be out. I will say pie free more no more. I can say Malcolm hono. Oh kumase adum. What you say? It in say yen nipa no mpo no. Ye breathing and blood is flowing through us. To put this in place for our kids. And I say, ye makra banner say, nim kwan ya say yes you cry a man so that they will be significant. How much more God and nature? So you don't think that God has given you something great and left it in your brain so that you have to just reason. Another example that I'm going to give you, the same God that you and I are talking about, this God, Oyejuma from Monday to Saturday. Okay? The same Bible tells us, say, Yankupon Yejuma from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and on home Sunday. Based on your belief, you know, if so Yejuma and home on Saturday, that's fine. But this creator worked his own self and whatever he wants to do throughout. Na ya som no. Why bibi no amayen. We go and pray 5 days, 6 days within the week, and we work only 1 or 2 days. Don't we think bibi higher? This is not this is not rocket science that you need Nyankopon and Jesus to come down and come in. You just put it in practicality, say. The ononoma will to me no. All right. Onono ye adwuma from all the days, ejina home 1 day. Who are be beneficiary of through that to me no. Sorry, throughout all the days, only 1 or 2 days. How can you be rich? Sorry, them was our corner. All your prayer point is to be successful in life, is to be able to make money. How can you make money if the person who made you is out there working and you are sitting in the church praying? So the reason why we are handicapped as Christians and or as religious believers, as people that we do not expose or exploit our potentials, no, is because we are not reasoning. We are not. And may say, if your motive of going to work, going to church is to be richer, you have to understand, say, the church cannot make you rich. Your richness, that the what you are looking for, sikana ohweno bibibia ohweno, lives in you. Nyankopon na owo ho no mo no. Wama everything to be successful. Stop blaming yourself. Blaming yourself. Stop blaming others for problem. One thing that we have realized, and they say, we like to apportion blame to other people. Every day, obi na a mistake. We do not accept our mistakes. And therefore, 1 year no is because one year is because obi ena enam so man niema enkoso. Okay? But then you have forgotten to say, one you have the capability of overcoming those things. All right? So stop putting blame on things and then get yourself together. Because your progress in life lies in the decision you are making. All right? And the COVID at Roma, even though COVID took lives of our own peoples and we really don't want 2020 to be back again. But COVID also opened an opportunity for some people, some business people, some individual people. Through COVID, some technology businesses like Zoom, DoorDash, and other ones break through. And I broke through, whichever way it's appropriate. Now, who is a year utumi from a fee. All right, you are utumi a fee year juma. MWBS at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, now upon. It was skill set now. What is preventing you from earning more money? It's no other na on pay juma ba kon kan dia wo ya no. Right? Because let me tell you this, God is not having time for lazy people, as he said. Na Yesu no kura ba asase Yesu no. Oba nipa afam no. When fear no didi ye. Unse Jesus no didi wo broke person be fear that. All right? The Bible, the reason why the Bible is a way of teaching us when we take the face value of assembly or cannot trust, we will make mistakes. I'm not saying don't go to church. Go to church. But the point that I'm trying to let you understand is apply what we call common sense. Apply, because nipa na wokɔ asɔre anase tumi na wokɔ asɔre akɔ hia bibia free ne ho no ɔno no e de saade ni nyina ma odada enti no yeni afrefra ene ye wo ho. We are not paying attention. Okay? And that is the problem with us. The reason why Africa and Ghana, for example, we continue not to prosper is because we don't have ways and means to apply that. We are not applying it. And therefore, we are doing the reverse. And again, just think about it. Ono Yankupon no ball, or ye Juma says this. Wo ba besom na oba wiase no ukwa sorry no 6 days no yejuma 1 day. How can you get money? All right, he has given you resources for you to apply. He has given you things for you to be able to what do you call it, implement. You are not using the brain. Bisa say since January 2024 up to now, book ben kura na working kind. When was the last time you took a time to even read half a page of a very important information to change your life? You want to be rich, but you don't even know how money works. You want to be rich, but you don't even know how the implementation of how money even comes about. Why do you say, then you'll be rich? I'm telling you, when we go to our churches, all what we are looking for is yedie, but the yedie is sitting in your brain. You are not utilizing it. And you know why you are not getting answers? Because God doesn't have time for people who are not ready to explore. It's not the same Bible, no. Or my some you can say example be I'll say papa be too kind. Okay? And or Nkrofo miensa woni fie ana yemfa ne say I'm paraphrasing it or che obia yemfa ne say $10,000 $10,000 ana otu kwan no ba ko e de 10,000 no ko share ne pass baabi e kata so because on pesa be yira ba ko enso e fa 10,000 no or the to one in such a way say at the end of the day, no, on fan is a crank can't find ye bibia. And a third person also no, efa sa 10,000 no, ediko ye juma. Emma home for so bad base 2 times. And Chabiana owner no buy. And I'll catch your obisa almost say, make on me mamu $10,000. It's 10,000 no, more the year then. Back on buy. Ose me mpem nwase mtino me de share ho oba na me de wade ama ba kum bai ose o me share 10,000 me hu ade bia metimi de aye that much entino therefore I don't want any issue me mpem nwase mtino o 10,000 eni and a third one buy no say o panyini bia o 10,000 na ode ma me no me hu se metimi de aye bibi ntino I ended up investing that 10,000 me de share bibi ase bebe 10,000 home fast one you. Menya home me no. It's mammy you 10,000 man, I'm in famine fast war. And therefore, Papa no hair no Jimmy no dear no education pim the ordinary any year business. We have all these examples in the Bible. It's a moral lesson that God is telling us we are not paying attention. Ye kojina wa ye sofo nom na eji wo mu di ye sofo nom no na ye kotokoto wo mu. Wuti we ukunu ni wo yere kura bonumbu no na so hu sofo na wo de dane form. And you think that that is right? That parable na wo Bible no mu no wo de ba ni pa yetina be mu. That is what the banks use. Okay? Bank fo na mu bu o mo sam ye wiasefo no. Ene omu enim nyame no. They are applying the nyame na eti wo madwen mu no. We the Christians, we are applying nyame a yenim no. That's why we are broke. The that this parable as someone became, that's what the banks use. Adana who the $10,000 koto Bank of America. FDIC ashishe mrato was the moment a bank for Nisabeka they are required to keep only 10% of Usikana or the 2 and then they can use 90% of Usikano for investment. So let's apply this here. Okoma Bank of America $10,000. Immediately, no, they can lend out $9,000 of your money. They can give it out as a loan to someone, and then keep only $1,000 because that's what the law is saying. That is the same parable na nyame can say. What is BBC obi sama die o apply nyame nyansa no ana o apply nyankopon nim die no o de sade no be ye adwuma enti ne se wo na se nyame ama nkwa na wote ase a apply sa nyame nyansa no e wo obi bibia wo yem. Now using the bank as an example no enti no wo ma mo 10,000 omo do 9,000 akoma loan ana omo de ye adwuma utwa ho eba na se o Bank of America for me hunim say bronya eba enti me de ka ma me nkwaji credit card every Bank of America for wa we sika 10,000 no ma kwa akoma wo a loan of credit card limit of 9,000 omo de wo sika na kwa abesa so aba be bo obosia no mo the credit card now as $9,000 credit card now they to adi then every month no ma charge you 24% APR. No much charge you interest ever. What I say? Because you don't have the knowledge of how money works. And therefore, because you don't have the knowledge of how money works in the internet, you are throwing away the money. It's one more. If we are for na yen ye fee say ye nyame man ye can't ye ho oh me dem ye nyame ba me nkugu da na so no da sorry a ye obedi kra ye dey. We sing and speak things that do not have any impact in our lives because we don't understand what we are singing. We don't understand what we are talking about. All right. Now, this what's as well by here. Nani pana ubunu so you are sitting no do edi. Again, medina na otumfo aya sante hene ye panyina ye nyina ebunu example. Se na otumfo kra epie ananiba epie. Now we saw more pamu mu be free more money ban be shopping. Dear, how much more nyankopon do you think that God wants you to be wretched? Do you really think, sir? Nyankopon pese we are so poor in such a way, say no man hunanimunyam. I don't think, sir, that ukrapona wa wono. Okay, who are what where will hear me? Wa wono. Who pese oba pia kwa bonti and entadi atete. That's what you think you even being the parent who cry we mama ni papa no oba pia kwa bonten a opese wo hye natade pa hye no shoe papa oba no pia kwa bonten a you want oba no to be able to look nice because the representation of yourself is in your child. At the beginning no make sure say Nyankopon doesn't have time to do creation and stuff anymore or the to me edi nyansa edi ahoade edi bibibia ba bedua onipa mu. Now you are the God. Now you are able to create. Humanity can create. Enti na onu obi hia onu oba hia mutumi wo ba no you have created. And the moment you create, you ingest nyame no ewo mu no bi no to the new humanity because nyame bo directly no or the ne humi begu mu me no mu kasai the etia ma metumi ne mu kasai nyina ne say nyankopɔ tumi wo me mu, which is the air I'm breathing, which is the soul in me. Sad soul no every me mu kwa. Body way a empty vessel. Think about it. Winter time abana wushi jacket. What you say? Ain't no so winter no free wa. Unipa dia no free jacket no mu. That means wushi jacket no be man. The jacket is of no use. Sana ni patie. Enti Nyankopon no nyame wo obi biara mu. God is in every look. Emwa yehu omo asase su nyame wo mumu. Nnua omo asase su nyame wo mumu. Nsuo omo asase su nyame wo mumu. Everything has God nature in it or God representation in it. Enti no yehu ni say ye die na ya prayer ye nama all the time no. Ada na wo Ghana no. Untumi kura save one you can say 100 cedis a month. Na so bedru krom hanom no. When you a new concept in mind that etumi ma okura otumi bɔ ho modern watumi asifie watumi aboa afoforo wo abrabom wo ba efie. Don't you think that there's something wrong with the way we are reasoning back home? Again, the onono born we are saying, oye adwuma 6 days, and the boy we are according to the same concept now walking kind now wajia tumuno. Oye adwuma 6 days. Wa ba be hu na asem no utifie ekwa asori ko bompa ye 6 days no oye adwuma 1 day or 2 days. How can you make money? Now so on prayer point I would call sorry dem nyina ne say nyame ma unye ye. Ede na nyame nyina so ma unye ye. That's the question. Ask yourself, say, ade na watumi a present wo nsam say Nyankopon de mi wonie nti no based on ade we no. Mame nye ye fa ho. You have nothing to present to God. And secondly, no, to me our dear show mu no, so no, you are not even utilizing it to come to that conceptual, like that concept to be dwell on you, say you can be able to do something. And you know, instead of now apportioning blame was a then, instead of now pointing fingers, say obi na ye and you know bibi o young kwasu abrabom no. Start thinking about your own self. Shasia dream start thinking about it. And I will sorry, right? When in Paya Okobo Chile Yakupon. And I want sorry cry. Uko uye Muslim near Yenianum. Uko mosque. And I say Uko in Shiadem. Uye how do I say this? Ubia osum bosuma. Uko nananumu demu. Unim will request out the kotu nananumanim. Start thinking about it yourself. Because your own success, your own power, your own knowledge, your own skill set, your own everything will make you who you want to be. And again, anytime it becomes something you are building. He just think about things and they come into reality. It was decided to me no be a Bible shenipamu. It was general say, once I will krum hano. I dear who yan say, I was semi bombing homo de na me kofa me manoba. And I was semi bombing homo de na me yeden. Me ko sit and be a boa because a busiadano assay. Ubedru krum hano na o share ho sa abon. That time no now man on form my. That time no now we see dine be okay. But because you thought about it, you know, the God in you now, from day one, to the age of that same God still lives with you, no. And it started forming something. The same way I need pay to me, whatever you are thinking about, no, start forming. It start molding together. Hey, and you know, some confirm man ba. A convention and meet me a quack form about. Even though at that time now young crater. But who catch around says, Minya Crata, Mequaco family, Yerene Maba, Mequaco family Kununi Maba, Mequaco family Mamma Maba, Mequaco Sidai. Those things you started thinking about it. Not endure yet. But then you still had it in mind that you were going to do it. So it started forming. Not and one thing that God has given us is the moment you start thinking, you have given nature some work to do. It's not yet or just yet a building in Kakran. Not all building it together, not building it together. And Timna Winya Krata na pebe green card holder and a citizen na pe. And a man why you already say, look, now this is the time for you to make that thing come to reality. That is how nature is. Nature has given us everything. Now, asana and net yedi jumedian bebe no. Me pesemi chiro the foundation of Bonnie. Now I dream about it's very simple. Just think about it in this way. Say Nyankopon ebo bibia, and he is the custodian of every nature because he is God. Now says Nyankopon ebo bibia, Emma owie per what yemu bi anase nkrofo akyerɛkyerɛ mu ama nkrofo ate ase no. Se sa na tie dia se sa Nyankopon no na bo nipa wie ye se ne se so ɛna saa nyankopɔn no saa so kɔbɔ bɔnsam wie ɛna saa so suma per what people are saying na yɛn nyinaa no yɛatete no ɛna me paraphrase no ɛna nyankopɔn suma bɔnsam no sɛ wayɛ stubborn wɔ soro hɔ nti no wɔte na bɛto fam ɛna wie ɛna saa so bɔ nipa kaa sɛ mo nkɔ fam mo ne bɔnsam no nkɔ fam ɛna ɔka sɛ okay mo nnue dia na sɛ saa nyankopɔn no sɛ at the end of the lifetime now best spend was as is obesa so punish you because only bonsam and as a bonsam will form ho only what to bonsam anamo and therefore you have sinned and therefore he is going to punish you there. And yet that gives me a question to ask about what type of father our God is. So sang concept na nkrofo chire mu no say ono na boy nyina including bonsam ena bonsam no yes stubborn ena ode bonsam no ba fam ode no ba no so no ode no ba baby amene wote no okay onim say ye yemre we are very very fragile it the bonsam no wo capabilities change ya bet me influence yen and therefore because of that no say yentumi follow na asem no so yie na ye ne bonsam no ekokambom na ye bonsam ne ma dia ene obeba be punish yen why ye punishment dia to say for not following his word there. That gives me a little bit question, but I don't think say nyankopon no bo wiase no sa not here bone every year ya mu na eba bone every year mu na eba. But one thing I want you to understand is say we nipa 10 esiwo. Now can be chireni obi say kofo nsuo no. For the first person obeka kofo nsuo no chire no. Enton kopem the 10th person no. Na asem na oka no original no say on kofo nsuo no. Ebedru sa 10th person no so no ahwe ana adane kakra. Sana mimi hu no. Because at the end of the day no I don't think say Yankopon share that bone is also bo papa. Okay, now mamim twa adwene si bibi so. Enam to me and Yankopon wo. He can be in any form or any nature no ntino. Se Yankopon no nibu betumi afu. Obesa so otumi so ye adoye pa. Se Yankopon no nature no be we mu a. That means within us, no, we can create negativity which becomes evil. And then at the same time, so no, yet to me, Daniel who ebe papa which becomes good things. Okay? I'm just bringing your attention to something again. The American at Sisunu be say. Okay? The American Sisu be say. And I'm saying, and God can be in any form. Yankopon ebetumi aye papa. Yankopon ebetumi aye negative side and into because he is all-knowing God. Whichever way he wants to turn around to be, he is able to do that. It is a sign Yankopon ni suni bi we mu. If a portion of God is within us, that means we as humans, we have the capability of also being negative and positive. Okay? And to understand a bad person, to me, that's not how it is. In my understanding, Mijidi said, evil things that happens on this planet, we create them, and bonsam na ye friend bonsam, we are our own bonsam. We are a creative bonsam. Okay? Yan a creative bonsam. Let me give you a very simple example. We are near for me and son and mutifi. A jabako and nabako. All right? Now, o sister bako no, and a unia bako no, munina for whatever reason no, bako no and your time be ma me no. Ewa sitting bako no. For whatever reason, on pe ni nua kaya no mwase. Enti no, Otewa na dwen bone eba ne tirim. Esusu fa ne nuanom. Kwan mbefa so akofom. How they can retrogress. How mu bibia mo ye enkoso. Sanipa no. He is, and don't forget I said beginning, said the odi beba wa adwemu bia no, it creates a form of creature for you. Okay? Intina menemo share from that angle. So we understand some of the basis. And it's all the papa ko utrimu. If you think about positive things, your brain and the God nature of you will consume that positivity and make it good. If you think about negative things, that God in you and that nature in you will create negative things and it becomes devil. Enti bonsama yedi bibi bia share no. Bonsam ni babia. Bonsam ni wa. You know why? The knowledge na me man. Ye unia ba ko na da bia wanya ni nua ba ko no ho tan no. Watumi abuild a tan to the point say munyina mu atete munyina moti mu baabi. Ebi kura ma ware moti mu baabi. Nanso no etan na woni mu nti no owo ne ma no. Waka kire ni nua ma ko no se unia we mu omonye. Reason why man koso nyina ye wo sister na wo bra mienu. Enti no munya otan bi ma omo no omomba. That aden was also the adua ne manimu. Okay? Or the adua ne manimu to the extent say amani mana ka munim hwe aba ne extended family for no ne aunt ne uncle ne nuanom no. Ena madwembone ono ne maame no ana papa no di kan e de hye ne munti no. Wa build boni bi atowo devil bi atowo ma ne manom so have picking up. Etina sometimes no abusuam kura wonnim de odi aye obi. Na wonianom etan, na wonianom ma no etan. Enna mensam bi a wonia bi aka kire ne nua ne ma no ana say o anka bi aka kire we and you build your own devil. You build your own evil. Etina say ye di twi kura baye na anasa bonsam na debia ye kano bonsam na ye kano say ye breaking into a pattern bone ensem. Just think about it. Bonsam na ye kano, break this word into a part, it will be bone ensem. That means bone ye niema ye no ehun sam na boaboa no ebe sa bonsam no ma wo. Enti no debia da no enam say yen ye pe blaming process in it, we like to put blame. We create some image. Be said bonsam bi ti baby na. But to me, bonsam bi any baby a because whatever you create becomes a creator. A creation for you. Like you build it. The old be show trimu bi ano you build it. Odi show trimu sa wo bon humode atumia atua visa fi aba America no. South America. Anameboa. Ubon homodin say no matter what it is no. Ubon homodin atumi asi abusuafie na si wo no. Won say watumi asi. Ada na wonya sa ahotoso no biem enfa hye wotirimu say going forward you will think positive. Ada na wonya sa ahotoso no bi so enfa nto wotirimu say obi ani baby a oya you are the cause of your own problem and therefore nyakupon wo mu nti no you are going to apply the skill set you have to be able to be successful. Etienne no, yema ye kasa nko akire no, yenim say we will have more of these sections no. Die me pese woti ase ne say obi ani baby a oyew ye wo hai ana baby eti ana baby awoi ope a ka kire wo anho say unko adwuma obeda. Your body no will be willing to sleep for the rest of your life because the body has no control over the brain and the brain contains the spirit of God. It's therefore spirit of God no can what manipulate the body. And because of the spirit of God no and you as a human no you can choose to use it for anything. You can decide to sleep all day all night. I promise you. Nobody will tell you anything. But at the end of the day, no ubedi hia so hu say hia But and I'm saying yen pesa and no. So that's sorry anapa. Now say ubebo homodin akwa ye bibia. Obeko aba no, you'll be successful. And instead of spending much time asking God questions about this type of discussions is to bring an awareness to you. Say, do you hear in a meaning say sometimes in our environment it becomes difficult for us to achieve some of the things we want to achieve in life. I understand. But obi biara ni wa wo bo ne ho modern wo bibibia mu a Nyankopɔ tumi agya ne mu. Ye nyina ye nim babia bia e free kura ba ebepie babia epie. Ye nim modern bo bia was na efufam. Ye nim some of the pain and agony we had to pass through to be able to even get to empempeswa ya den ye way. But here's the case, you push it through no. To me now they are doing ye muno ehu ye mobo eboai. So now you have to, if you are going to continue to pray, but don't forget, say, and what's the only reason why I open say that's the point. You have to have a reason for God to bless you. God cannot bless a lazy person. God do not have time for people who are not willing to push themselves. So how do you expect God to bless you? How do you expect God to do something different in your life? How do you expect new things to happen to you if you are not willing to push yourself? I'm not saying it's a man sorry, but what I'm trying to bring your attention to is with you. Start using it, and then you will see the great things that Nyankopon now about a woman. But until you use it, okay. Ye chat work around. Statistics who say we Israel everywhere. Ghana, ye can the countries are ye bompire pa. Prayers is good. But other than empire ya bonu bebrebe no, we are not getting any results. We keep on praying. Who say we are making some mistakes? Because the BBBI empire, then what is the purpose of creation? Just think about it. Say, Ubutaya, we are seeing our say, oh, Baba, wona de bia wadi umachi, and your man rather than our titi or more akuko school now, my Baba independent. Reason why you want your case to be independent is because to give you that freedom. And I think that's what God also is looking for. And he equips us with things. Or the near mashishayensa, or my skills, or my nimdia, or my nyansa, or my nyama bebre. So that we can be able to accomplish things that opposite. And you know, we don't have to get this twisted. Yadi yakasanu baby, you know. One show who promised 2024 January. Okay, dear, wo akuma so sanka opesa we. Call phone log, call WhatsApp. You just go to your WhatsApp. Now cover your call log. How many hours are there are some software be more to me how many hours you have stayed on the phone. Go and calculate how many hours you have spent from January to July. July go and look at the number of hours I was spending any prof work kasa modin komo in komo asabe and to me for bibi papa bi amra wa brabo. You have spent over thousands and thousands of hours throughout these 6 months. Also roughly on the okachira on krasa opesa for 2024. So you are the own cause of your problem. It is a referee who knows also kwakotena sorry them bompire say nyamema undi ya. Edi adi no mfa so fama undi because of course now we in na konkosa course. Of course now we nothing was about business or improvement. It wasn't about career involvement. It wasn't about personal growth for anything. It was just about you talking about things that are not relevant. And because you are investing your time, talking about things that are not relevant. Because there's no reason. God cannot bless you if you have not presented anything. If God is like an employer, you don't have a resume, you don't have the skill set. So how do you expect that employer to hire you? That's how God works. But the BBBA now, so you are not using it. Now, so there be other now, sorry, they may bomb pay on shroud. A dear dinner on fast one for shroud. Who be so? Who nipana? Who platform is one? Who video and who bet video? Just ask yourself, sir. A dear dinner kit out. What is it that you have that is of a reason saying Yamima unyesikani? Just ask yourself. A young concern, what now WhatsApp? Akana na unyana some farmer unyesikani na say. What reason? I mean, what could we any panel? You are not going to do it. It's let's come to that self-awareness and say, Yediani sorry them. Yediani kitawam. If you go to church, you are going because fellowshipping is good, and God appreciates that. You are going because at the end of the day, every crowd, your presence in your church, no bet me a buau. And one thing I was a and said, what say? Sorry, no more so the reason why maybe God created church is for us to collaborate and help each other, because creation is all about relationship and collaboration. It's no board me I say, and you bet me a man when you're oxygen. Now also human being will produce one carbon dioxide or any sort of waste for them to help in their food processing ways. And na oko sense you are now one now amao ahoɔden ama otumi di ayo niema nsuo no so da hɔ no now so wa dodo ho ama nsuo no enwe what you say entino na aboa enam hɔ a aboa bi sɛ okraman nom ne you can say cat nom ne saa niema no they are serving as human needs, they are providing human assistance. All those things there are for the purpose. Sorry is for it to help put people together and help people. To me, the reason why we go to church is for us to collaborate and have that relationship aside, because God is not going to say one cause sorry them into you. But the purpose of you can say the church, it brings relationship and team building. And you say, "Obi wuchire no here bibia ebia sorry no mu no there's some resource person obetumi ama direction na atumi aboa." And you sorry no, so think about educating the church members about some of these things. Let them come to the self-conscientization, like let them have that realization and say, "Nyankopon ti sorry dem wonko." Do not let it seem and be like, sorry, one ma sorry and yamin. Okay, let's come and one thing I've come to realization is that some of the churches do that because at the end of the day, when you come to get this sort of knowledge, now I won't see hobby, but that is not the reality. Let these people know, say, sorry, that's what they came to fellowship, and therefore the church is responsible to help mobilize them together. Sometimes no mo kinkan nyame asem no kakra na mo de aye mfa to in real life amomo hu se nyame ti wo mumu enye sofo na nyame wo ne ho nyankopon ni sofo bi ansem. Okay, our next discussion e be no e bia next week no we are going to talk about things about how God uses people to do things. No be hu se nyankopon kura wo tumi wo wo mu a etumi ma wo ye niema bebre chen wo sofo no. All right, some of these churches, the goal is to manipulate. Okay, and I think that these are some of the reasons why you having this sort of discussions, to bring that level of awareness, to people, because at the end of the day, it is very important for us to all understand that. And sometimes bring people to speak to this congregation. Obiti sorry them ho or fale tax bia or boka. Nanso no church no enya ahotoso bi say omukọ akofa obi ama na ba be kire even how ways and means are omofa so den go about tax processing. If we as for na yesi omo we as no, they have ways and means to go around with the tax bracket system. Now church members no mom te woda bi omo file tax omo boka. Why don't you bring some resource person sorry na mo no mu krampo no mo hwe obi owo sanim de no to apportion at least one Sunday being fancy will not church and crofone. Sorry, no, most of the people are working hand to mouth. Way. So why is this so difficult? Sorry, bet to once he was oh now what Busum way dear. You pay a HR person be crabber, human resource person be crabber. Then it will help the people in the church to understand even how to go about job search. Niema mo ye as a mistake into no mo apply adwuma mo form mo sa niema ni nyina no aden na sorry na mo no and taking responsibility na so da biara da no ye mo afore ye nye tight uko kana ba ba ye nsem foforo. Next week we are going to talk about all these things because the reality of humanity is not for exploitation. The idea was as is no ye nyina ye will have because we have a purpose that nyakopo ti ye mu ayede ye nyina ye kwa sorry obi wo nimdie fa nyama bi mu ho enti nyakopo sheda de no kodue ehonom for the church to utilize that person to speak to the congregation. Ebi kura nipa no mpene ho asem to ye quiet person ti ni baby but some involve sa nipa na obetumi de nimdie aboa asori no mbi but the enim da bia ne say na ye kenkan Malachi da bia da no e fa Malachi ho na bisa ho say o congregation in wo na their income is so small no it wo jisika free wo na ye. Why don't you help these people to build? Why don't you help these people to stand so strong? And I mean, say recently at TBB said almost Jeff Bezos, Amazon CEO and the founder no a person move to Florida. A new sumuma the entire state of Florida obia a boy just welcoming him. If he is really willing to move there. Look at it. Yeah, you only pano crampono. You so be a bar, resource person be a bar. If you bet me a baby near my baby. Now, yeah, you was sorry, them one yankupo dem crophobia barbe to a sorry nimono. The church is rather exploiting these people. It be some suffer. Anywhere who are sorry be said. What are you doing to help change the life of this congregation? Sorry for you, Amuwe. Edia dina wo ye dia bo sorry for no. What are you doing? Edia di pan wo as a church as a body no more ye. Ukrofo ni nyina wo ho no. Some of them even don't know how to go about with career goals no more hwe no. Enti no collection bebre ayatui. Any title offering ayaman. How difficult is it to go outside and recruit someone to come and just have a career fair in the church? The anyone say yeje. What you say? And once again, many of the person will be at here ni. Nyankopon wo mu. Enya sorry dem ho na Nyankopon te. Just think about it. If God lives only in the church and go free sorry hope here, you don't have life. You before you came to this earth, no, na nya minimum. What the ne ho ba be show mu say yes chire mu from beginning na. So therefore, utilize what God has given you. If you find yourself in an environment that you think, say, it's not conducive, no bet me obi. And therefore, we are a people that we are portraying because I say, yeah, the religion who say, oh, you're a religious person, dear was so haunted. Now, now, futrone, when and no, even who say, oh, you yan coupon. Don't you think it's a disrespect to God? And again, Yapanesanka, Queen Elizabeth, when you're baby quick. Naka ne mano mo nama, no mo nyina tete, omo mpaboa mo atete, omo nan, omo shirt mo aye basa. Di omo be di cry den. How will you regard that person say, or your Queen Elizabeth ba? How? Ya kechiro kra wa unjindi. Na se ye nipa kra ye nim de ye ade ye kama ade ye ma ye ho a how much more to me now? One more to me out to me de casano. Oh no, one him the oppressor. Oh no, penny a mayefe. And I'm between what you baby say. The same Bible now I can cano. Jesus boy we ask no. Poor person ben and Jesus could in feed pen. Disciples now mudi yesu na chino. And I say mudi Jesus a chino. Omumu wine na no a poor person. That means God himself even like to mingle with people with innovative mindset, people who are utilizing to be successful. Because when you are successful now, obi betumi agina ahu say obraya okwen die enam se ne ositie die ene ebia meye curious akwa ko hu nyame kura onene na meye curious abo apninu na mahu and ade man is successful in life. This is what God is looking for, because when you are successful, it is a papa ne ba atumi aye niema obi aboje ne so ede animunyam ni nyina abraw wonso na se yene nam na ye the religion akatakata yani, because we are not open-minded. The problem with us Christians and our religious believers we are not open-minded. The name from old time now mo kachire ye no obi can be before chire ye bonsam na bisa ho say so for no kan that sam no chire wo no kokenkan ye no ba be interpret obe interpret ye di kachire wo say sanete woman no wakwa kokenkan hwe. The problem with us is we don't read. Yeah, before no we don't read. Ye nimre say beka nipa ho asem there, we have time to dedicate for that. So be business and obi oye ye be fra aguno akikan some money afan wa twitwa in 19 there. We are what do you call it, capable of doing all those things. But say pass ye betumi atena se asese ye ho abo ye ho modern there, we don't. 2023 betwa mu book ben na okenkan story ben na okenkan ye bet etumi bua wo improve your life. O sorry also person your business na person ye no kra okenkan ho ade bia. You don't have any plan about it. Na so na o sorry what na WhatsApp so kan krofo ho sam sa o call up. You have spoken over 200 or 300. Some people can even speak for 5,000 hours throughout the whole year. Now calculate that 5,000 hours no by you can say productivity. Otumi so wa boka susuro wona brabo. Ni bibia oye bia aba be ekanko a. So, mede me kasa eba wiye no. Dia me pa kire wo nyina ne se. Yakupon tumi no eti wo mu. Any way you want to use it, it's up to you. Sa tumi no tumi ye papa, etumi ye bone. And I'm say sa tumi no ti wa adwemu nti no, etumi ma wo create bibi. A typical example na medical kachira wo say, Yakupon sesi onimre a de bebo nipa from a form ne not ye biem ti wo de or the creation abeshe nipa nsa. Nti na oni oba hia mutumi yinsen no. Mo yinsen you have created something. Until the moment you have positive thought in your mind, wo dream bibi papa ho no, wo person use the skill set and your media ma wo no, you are going to create what you are looking for. Into ye die na wo hwe wo asase su ada bia da wo feel say obi na eyew, and therefore I was say o ko bi won obom paye ma and all those things no obi anyew one na wo ye ho so da na sorry na so be da on pass for the whole day. Unya sika bia wo botom. But also be sorry now kwa ko pe bibia ya okoba obenya bibi. So whatever you create start in your mind. God is with you in your mind. He has given you everything you need. Onokro bo no ye adwuma. Enti won so no fa wa adwen na nyame dia ma won fa ye adwuma and have a positive thought. A man will believe any religious native understanding no endi wunya. Nyame ni babia, nyame ni asori bia mu, nyame no ewo wo. Enam se mu nyina mu ya nyame ni nti no ena mu hie mu a you can command the powerful God above no, and you can speak to that powerful God above no to bless you all. Se me nyame wo me mu na nipa foforo nyame nso wo ni mu na another person nyame nso wo ni mu a enyina e kambo mu a the force we have no can ask for great things to happen. Enti wo nam no nyame wo mu. Ti wo realize the obetumi aye. Na ye bua wo because when you are successful, you make God proud. Ohun tete ye nkyere se Nyankopon do. Okay? Enti no ene no yakasa bi ye di discussion no ebesi ha. Again, this is your knowledge, your power, and your growth or your success. Yeah, platform where so the kind of we bring you an awareness of things happening and the way you have to approach things in life. Utumi fabia ebi ebetumi aboa. But at the end of the day, no, the okoso wa bra bomu nyina e wo wo aho. So obedi ya e wo wo aho. Ubeyo hiani e wo wo aho. Ubeto ka papa damo e wo wo aho. Ubedidi ya e wo wo aho. So ubekun hu so e wo wo aho. Beye ni baby oba beye ohe. Devil be any baby. You can create your own devil. Who bet me create wow bonsam na sense what di wunya. Etino ye di nyame beja obia na Sunday am obia eden enyamre I relax. You better recommend it say obe share your page your knowledge, your power, your growth page na wo Facebook and YouTube amakrofo so atie sansem yibi. And then you like, and anytime we come live, you like the page, and then you'll be notified. Yamin Shira. Na can say Lolly Cash, and a boy a home buying, a soya sing, and I say, Omo, and a ekitayemu to be able to do what we are doing. Now, Lolly Cash, and ye BBBR say, a wallet, artificial intelligence wallet platform. It may bua my send it, essentially, a receive ska. To walk Chrome, how bet me I use. Send ye name send you other apps wo Chrome ha US and Canada mo receivers card domestically wo Chrome no. You can use Lolly Cash to do that. Nti wo business, wo congregation, wo BBBI, you can use Lolly Cash for that. And on top of that, you can also use Lolly Cash to send money back home. It to me send it Ghana, to me send it Nigeria, it makes send Cameroon, Senegal, many other countries. It makes send India. The rate Lolly Cash for them for $1 to Ghana city, $1 is 15.50. No app be anywhere. Oh, the app on our phones no correct. App be anywhere. Or more exchange rate no higher than Lolly Cash. So whom be sir? Fatagi and page one, ye be match it. Obi anyhow. And yes, I feel na yaye. Since the time a Lolly Cash buy up to now, Obi anyhow exchange rate no higher than Lolly Cash exchange rate. So you better recommend this. You better download the app no now sign up. Now why use Lolly Cash for the away be. So we event Lolly Cash and so will ticketing system. Send ye co event bright more. It to me acquire to me co-create ticket system for our event, Lolly Cash, was a functionality now. A year very few cry Lolly Cash for a charge for event ticket, a year 2 times lower than the event bright for more charging. Artificial intelligence will provide everything, generate the ticket and scan the ticket and do everything for your event. Download the Lolly Cash, na fire the opese odeye, and continue to like and share the page. Within the week, you best also abroad different segments. Sundays, they focus on church. Fridays, we focus on other discussions, and probably on Wednesdays, say Adam Edibuane, we talk about other matters and so. So, you can let us know. We can invite you to also be on the show as well. The chat you can say, you will Lolly Cash Cupid connection. The link everybody to platform so very soon. Lolly Cash Cupid you can say connection idea boa connecting crofo mo pe adofo abom. The program a TV series yede ashasia yede ba. It's also part of the Lolly Cash Cupid connections now. Reach out to yen every page one. It has said me and Papa Beku who reach out to yen. You better get to registered. A programmer, a bit me about connected people who are looking for relationship and all those things together. And again, a live show. But YouTube and Facebook anyway, a recorded program. Note that when you come on, we are going to stream it for people to see. So we are accepting candidates for the program. We are looking for only 10 people. If you want to be part, reach out as soon as possible. Yeah, there'll be BBRC. Samote commercial free lolly cash for Nasa Monty and Kabima Nayadamase.
Akuntanyo ko. Hey, boga one. Na ay, Mr. Fafa bag kuntabiama. And what the shop to me?
Me disikani nyina egu lolly cash account no so.
Oh, you do it.
Me be spread mu mamusro. Me be anya afa na me ha me $100 be bregu me bag mu na yakobisa me sesika me de koye den ma load ni nyina egu me lolly cash account ni mu.
That's right.
Enti se me ba be di dwuma bia wo hanom a me tua free mu straight.
Hey, baby, a lolly cash app nedru no.
Let's say what dollars no egu wallet mu. Enso o twa de wa Ghana hanom a ense se besides.
Sa pepepe. Ti se me kwa brochira me sika ni nyina no me load gu me lolly cash account no so. Abrochira baby a me wo bia no. Ade bia me pe bia me timi to. Na app no akonvert sika no akọ country ni sika no so. Na me de adi me dwuma.
Inti America, Canada, and Europe countries na lolly cash app no was no. Sa
app na ngasa be convert akọ say American dollar, say Canadian dollar, say India for sika e bia app no convert mami. Enti transaction is simple kra.
Lolly cash app no guy papa. Account na it is sika no time sa no entetew.
Debi lolly cash account here. Ye ntew say de ebi no ye no. Ulo di atumu a bibia ni mu no ne ati bibi kakra. Mi be wie no ma send bi aba mu na me de akonta so bi akon account mu ama no.
thank you.
Account hold my ink ko ho. Eti obia and download the Lolly Cash app no e wo Google ana Apple Store. Number start and send sika and mama busha for no na for no e wa mono ne ba bia Lolly Cash
24/7 send sika. Abna good news we abo.
Enu nti wunye ntu kwan na na.
She enu kra na ebe ma kwantu no aye simple kra.
Sa
Ani wonim na me hwehwe app bi a ebetumi amama send you sika straight into wallet. Abra even wo momo wallet ne krampo anya adwuma.
okay.
Na sounds ye fast. Na eye available e we nkro bi te se Canada, India, UK and Ghana hampo. Wonim se de be ya metumi asend you sika semtu kwan na.
Na me ameni account for bank bi eye. Me momo no so nya adwuma o.
Hwe sister, dia konta e pa kire nyina ne say with Lolly Cash app no say wo momo ana wo bank account say wo ndi bie emu bia mpo no wo betumi asend sika asa receive sika from Ghana ha to amonone simple.
Lolly Cash
Ane Lolly Cash secure and convenient. Ewa QR code etutumi use e de send sika abra ehun hia say afna be ka obi phone numbers any bank account number bia utumi so send sika from Lolly Cash account e de call bank account bia mu e wo bia safna be bia.
Akonta udi buda se pa. One man say na simple kra ma me.
Master dia de no.
Ampa
Enti obia and download the Lolly Cash app no e wo Google ana Apple Store. Number start and send sika and mama busha for no na for no e wa monone ba bia.
na mo spell mami
LOLLICASH
Lolly Cash
24/7 send sika.